It is the lungs of our planet, a green ocean that breathes for the world.
The Amazon River, the lifeblood that flows through the heart of the continent. Beneath the canopy, a hidden world thrives in the shadows.
Here, color is a signal, a flash of scarlet in the endless green.
The Scarlet Macaw, masters of the upper world.
Moisture is everywhere. The air itself is heavy with life. On the forest floor, millions of tiny engineers are at work.
Leafcutter ants, carrying burdens many times their own weight.
But silence often masks danger. The phantom of the jungle is on the prowl. The jaguar, the supreme apex predator of the Amazon. Unlike most cats, they are at home in the water. Beneath the surface, a different kind of monster lurks. The black caiman. Prehistoric, patient, and perfectly evolved.
Life here isn't always about speed. For the three-toed sloth, slowness is survival.
Their fur is an ecosystem of its own, hosting algae and moths.
Plants here engage in a silent, slow-motion war for light. Water shapes everything, carving paths through the dense vegetation.
Giant river otters. They are the noisy, social wolves of the river.
The heat breeds storms, the daily cycle of evaporation and release. When the rain falls, it falls with a violence that washes the world clean.
In the chaos, the best survival strategy is often to disappear.
Or to stand out. The poison dart frog wears its toxicity like a neon sign.
High above, the canopy highways are bustling with traffic. As the sun dips below the horizon, the jungle undergoes a transformation. Fungi light the way for the creatures of the night. Millions of eyes watch from the darkness, waiting for a mistake.
It is a world that never sleeps, a relentless cycle of life and death.
And as the dawn returns, the chorus begins anew.
The Amazon, fragile, ferocious, and utterly magnificent.
In the murky depths, a legend swims, the Amazon Pink River Dolphin.
Feared by many, the red-bellied piranha is the river's most efficient cleaner.
On the banks, the world's largest rodent, the capybara, grazes in peace.
But peace is fleeting. The green anaconda, a massive coil of muscle, is always watching. Above the canopy reigns the Harpy eagle, powerful enough to snatch monkeys from the trees.
The toko toucan's beak is a marvel of evolution, both a tool and a radiator.
The loudest voice in the forest belongs to the howler monkey, audible for miles.
The tapir, living fossil and gardener of the forest, spreads seeds as it roams.
With a tongue longer than its head, the giant anteater is a specialized insect hunter.
Speed is life. The hummingbird hovels in a blur of iridescence.
The glass frog hides nothing. You can see its very heart beating.
The bullet ant. Its sting is rated the most painful in the insect world.
A flash of electric blue. The morpho butterfly is a jewel of the rainforest. Goliath bird eater. The size of a dinner plate, it rules the undergrowth.
Death brings life. Fungi recycle the nutrients that power the forest.
Thousands of orchid species cling to the trees, drinking moisture from the air.
The strangler fig embraces its host, a deadly hug that lasts for decades.
The hotazine, a bird so ancient its chicks still have claws on their wings.
Precision hunters like the kingfisher never miss a beat.
The electric eel can generate enough voltage to stun a horse. The arapaima, a river monster armored in scales tough enough to resist piranhas. Hidden in the sand, the river ray waits for the careless step.
When threatened, iguanas drop from the trees into the safety of the water.
The basilisk lizard defies gravity, running across the water's surface.
At night, the river comes alive with hundreds of glowing eyes. Ocelot, a master of stealth, hunts in the pitch black.
The kinkajou, also known as the honey bear, navigates the darkness with huge eyes.
Deception is key. The owl butterfly stares back at predators with false eyes.
As twilight falls, millions of bats emerge to feed on the insect clouds.
Dawn returns to the Amazon, revealing a sea of mist. The meeting of waters, where black and sandy rivers run side by side without mixing. In the rainy season, the forest floor becomes a water world.
Social bonds are strengthened through endless grooming.
A future king of the jungle, still learning the ways of the wild. They gather at the clay licks, a kaleidoscope of color and noise. Termite mounds can stand for centuries, concrete skyscrapers of the insect world.
The armadillo, armored and busy, sniffs out grubs in the soil.
Travel in bands, tails held high like flags to stay together.
Peccaries move like a single organism, aggressive and defensive.
Spider monkeys defy gravity, using their tails as a fifth limb.
The emerald tree boa, a masterpiece of camouflage and deadly patience.
One touch of this golden skin could be fatal.
A predator with 40 legs and a venomous bite.
The gentle millipede curls into a spiral shield.
The heliconia, or lobster claw, offers nectar only to those with the right beak.
The tears of the rubber tree, a resource that changed the world. To an ant, the canopy is a vast network of perilous bridges. A single fallen log supports more life than a football stadium. The river is restless, constantly eating the land and moving the forest. Amazon creates its own weather, a perpetual engine of rain.
Energy released from the heavens.
The rain brings a momentary cool to the sweltering heat. The forest exhales, returning moisture to the sky. A fleeting bridge of color over an eternal sea of green. Under the southern stars, the jungle truly awakens. A silver mirror, cutting through the darkness. Thousands of fireflies mimic the stars above. The Amazon, a wilderness without equal, essential and eternal.
A relic from the dinosaurs, the Hoatzin chick uses claws on its wings to climb.
The cock of the rock puts on a dazzling display of brilliant orange.
Of faith across the void, trusting in agility and grip.
Surprisingly, the sloth is a competent swimmer, crossing rivers to find mates.
Invisible to the naked eye until it blinks.
Army ants, a nomadic superorganism that devours everything in its path.
Pink River dolphins are the ghosts of the Amazon, rarely seen fully airborne.
The strike is faster than the eye can follow.
Even the king must rest, escaping the heat of the midday sun.
With a toss of the head, the toucan swallows the fruit whole.
Space on the clay lick is premium real estate, and tempers often flare.
A harpy eagle chick will depend on its parents for over a year.
A single bromeliad holds a personal swimming pool, an entire universe for the tiny.
Life explodes from decay in a matter of hours.
The stinkhorn fungus uses the smell of rotting flesh to attract spreading agents.
Vines race towards the canopy, seeking the life-giving sun.
The landscape is never static. The river is a sculptor that never rests.
As the heat of the day fades, the river turns to liquid gold.
The moon signals the changing of the guard.
Aerial battles are fought in silence, guided by sonar.
The spectacled owl watches, a silent assassin of the canopy. A mother caiman guards her nest with ferocious dedication. Calling out from the egg, the hatchlings signal it is time to emerge.
Patience is the great egret's weapon.
The tiger heron blends perfectly with the reeds, invisible to its prey.
With a sixth sense, navigating by electricity. In seconds, the stingray vanishes beneath the sand. The arapaima must breathe air to survive in the oxygen-poor waters. The elusive Amazonian manatee, a shy grazer of the floating meadows.
Grooming reinforces the family bonds essential for survival.
Sometimes, crossing the gap requires cooperation.
Beautiful but deadly spines protect this larva from hungry birds.
A miraculous transformation, unfolding in the safety of the shadows.
The orchid bee, collecting scents to attract a mate. Sweet energy, offered by the plant in exchange for pollination.
Some plants rely on ballistics to spread their next generation.
The cycle of water is endless, feeding the river that feeds the sea.
A single bolt can shatter a giant that has stood for centuries.
The squall line brings destruction, but also opportunity. A gap in the canopy allows sunlight to reach the floor for the first time in years. The race to fill the void begins immediately.
Deep underground, the queen lays thousands of eggs a day.
Nothing is wasted. The dung beetle recycles the waste of giants.
A dedicated father carries his tadpole to the safety of the canopy. Here, high above the ground, the next generation begins.
The arowana, the water monkey, leaps to snatch insects from branches.